guys, this is Allison Pryor, Newfoundland artist, and I did some series of paintings. I get a little bit of a glare, so hopefully I can, I'm not sure what to do about that, but hopefully you can see this. I'm going to show you today how to blend your sky, but a little bit different than the way I showed you before, because I want to do each video differently so that you can, you know, get different ways of doing things. When you're looking at my videos, you're not repeating the same thing over and over. So I'm after getting some requests for a lighthouse. So the lighthouse, we're going to start with the sky first. I'm going to put some green tape on there, some painter's tape, and I'm going to put it a little bit down under halfway, I would say. That's the horizon line. So that's your horizon line, that's your sky, and then the bottom part is going to be probably some water and rocks and things to get them ready for the really nice lighthouse. Okay, so what I want to do is, I'm wetting my top of my canvas here for the sky. It's a bit wet there because I was preparing it. And so what I'm going to show you, let's pretend yours is dry. So you're just going to put a pile of white paint on your flat brush. It's a flat bristle brush. And you'll notice I use a lot of flat bristle brushes. And most stuff I use a ½ bristle brush, because I'm only using canvases like 11 by 14 around that size. I find anything, especially doing videos, that's a good size that I find comfortable for me. And so I'm just using, and I'm getting it all wet there with white paint, okay, getting it ready for your blend of your other colors. So I thought maybe a bit of yellow in the sky would be nice. And so now it's nice and wet. And what we'll do is we'll pick up some yellow on our dirty brush. The brush is still wet with white paint, okay? So I get just a small bit on there, start off with. And see, and you start at the bottom. And see how that blends nicely with the white? See, now you can put more yellow on if you like. So that way, you don't want to put too much though. You just want to start a little bit at a time so that you can decide yourself how yellow you want it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more yellow on my brush. Just a small bit, not a big lot. Just a little bit there. Start at the bottom again. And then just blend it in with the white. There we go. That gives a nice little yellow color. And your white is still there and it's still wet. Now while your white is still wet, and if you're happy with the amount of yellow paint, if you get anything on your there, just scoop it up. Scoop it up. It's running away from me. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so we just wipe it off and then go back over it again, so it's no harm done. So we got our yellow. If you want to add a little bit more yellow, just add a little bit more yellow. So you can add as much as you want. As long as your paint is wet, at least it will blend. So there's white and yellow, just like that. So now you're going to put some blue on your brush, just a small bit. Let's start off with small bits first, okay? And that's going to blend with the white also, and that will give you a nice sky. So you're probably getting a bit of a glare, so I'm hoping you can see it. Actually, this is my second attempt, because when I checked the video, there was so much glare on it, you couldn't see anything I was doing. So a bit more blue, okay, not too much. Up in the corners, start at the corner so you can work your way down, and just go back and forth. They're almost like crisscross strokes, like you see on some other videos. And then you can add a little bit more blue up in the corner if you want. You can even add a tiny bit of red, just a tad bit, not very much. And that'll give it a kind of a purplish color. So we just want to add a little bit of color. We want to get the sky nice colors. Okay, don't worry about your yellow. You can go over your yellow. And in the other corner, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, a bit of red and blue. And up here in this corner again. Now painting is going back and forth and experimenting. So if you don't get this on the first try, do it again. All you got to do is take white paint and wipe it all out with your white paint and start over, okay? So you don't have to be using, you know, a ton of canvases. So not to worry. So now what I want you to do this time, I want you to go into white, because it's starting to dry a little bit on us. And we don't want to lose our yellow. So go into white. And your brush is always dirty, and that will mix in with your yellow. See that? So you have blues and yellows and a little bit of dark colors up on top there. You don't lose your yellow. Look at that. And your sky is so pretty. So pretty. So add more white. More white to your brush. Okay, just a little bit. Just go in with some more white. Until you're happy with the way it all looks. Okay? And there, see, it all blends together. And it's so amazing that the blue stays where it's supposed to stay and the yellow stays there. And if you want a little more blue up in the corner, a bit of blue, a little bit of red, you certainly can do that too. Because as long as it's wet, you can blend this really nice. It won't do any harm. See that? Hopefully you can see it. Okay, and probably another little bit of red and blue up in this corner just to give it some color and some depth. It's a hard word, depth. Alright, so perfect. I'm praying you can see this. I hope so. So now what I like to do, you can darken these up as much as you want, okay? And you can go back and forth as long as your paint is wet. You'll be fine. There we go. Just up in the corner and work your way down. Up in the corner, work your way down. There we go. Work your way across a little bit. If you find that your paint starts to dry on you, get some white. Go into the white, and just go in white. See? And you shouldn't lose your yellow. You'll keep your yellow. So I'm going to leave that there like that. There we go. Cool. Put some clouds in. I showed you some different ways to put in clouds. And so we just put in a bit of blue and a bit of white. So a light blue. We'll say we got a light blue. And just tap it on there. And all you have to do is pick a spot and just start tapping. And you just tap, 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 tap. Don't even worry about it too much. Just tap on something there to look like a cloud. Okay, it can be a big one or a small one. Alrighty then. So then we got this nice cloud, and you can move it around a little bit out here so that it looks like it's a big cloud in the sky. There we go. Just tap, 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 tap. Perfect. Now, you move over little skinny parts. You might have some leftovers here. A little bit. Tap, 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 tap. There we go. Move it around a little bit. Tap on the bottom. Okay, good. So we'll just get those, try those two first. And then you just take pure white, tap it on there. Your brush is still a bit dirty, so that's okay. There's a little bit of blue in that there, and to get this white. And just go to the top of that, what you just made, just the very top, and tap on your white at the very, very top of those clouds that you made. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? So if you tap on at the very, very top and keep the bottom on the bottom blue, then you'll get some nice fluffy looking clouds, and they look nice and bright. Now, you got some paint left over. We're not going to add any more paint. You see it's starting to come off. So just move your brush around a little bit. Just tap, 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 tap. There we go. And you tap that around so that it makes the cloud look even more fluffier. Tap, 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 tap. That's underneath. So you keep your top. Keep your top. There we go. So you see that? Can you see that? Let me see. So, gives it that nice fluffy look to it. So we'll do the other one now that we just made. Pure white on your dirty brush. Pure white. See, there we go. Just start at the very top of that little cloud that you made. There we go. Good. Now whatever's left over, you can even wipe your brush off if you want. Tap some of it out and just tap around at that bottom. Just tap, 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 tap. There we go. So you have another nice little cloud. And now you can even add another little cloud to this blue one here, just underneath it, just put pure white and tap around. That'll make it look like you got a second cloud in front of the other one. And you just tap around, tap, 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 tap. And whatever's left over, just come to the bottom. And that will blend in with the rest of the sky. There we go. See that? And just tap, tap. You tap, you're going to get a cloud. That's all you have to do. And not too much paint. Once you get your top, keep your top and just move around on the bottom there. And see how that blends? See that? I hope you can see it. See that? Good. Now, we can make some more little clouds. So go underneath the ones that you already made to make it look like the cloud is in front of the one that you just made. Okay, like that. See? So that's your blue and white. And then take a bit of white on your dirty brush. Start at the very top. And tap, 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 tap. And then move your brush around to leftover paint. Okay? That's it. And just move it around. You can even blend it out a little bit if you like. Okay? So you can put as many clouds as you want. You have as many clouds as you like. Clouds are fun when you get to practice them and learn how to do it. You can also try different brushes, okay? You don't have to just use that brush. You can also try your fan brush. Just try something with the fan brush, just out of curiosity to see how it comes out differently. So we're doing the same thing, bit of blue, bit of white. And let's put one up here. Just tap it on with your brush. Tap, 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 tap. You tap, 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 tap. I'm making a real mess here. Look, I'm even squiggling my brush around. Look, I'm going to squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. There we go. Look at that. Just by moving the brush around, you're going to get this really nice shape. So now, the top of this, you just take it and tap onto the top. Tap, 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 tap. And I'm moving my brush around a little bit, just to see if I can get different. See, I like to experiment and see what comes up, what happens. Now, you don't want too much paint on your brush because you want to go down the bottom. So I'm going to wipe my brush off in my tissue. And then whatever is left over, then I'm just going to move that around, okay? And there we go. Keep the top, keep the top. Just move around the bottom, that's all. And look, I only moved around and didn't even worry about how my hand was moving or anything. And I got a really cute little cloud. There we go. That was done by the fan brush. So I'm just trying to show you, you could use all kinds of different brushes to try them and try to get different techniques, your own techniques, and experiment, and then you have your own little stuff that maybe one day you can do a video. So that's perfect. So now what I want to do now, I'm going to take my tape off. You're going to take your tape off. Take your tape off, and let's now, if we're going to have a lighthouse, we're obviously going to have a big old rock and stuff there, but then we're going to have some water, because usually lighthouses are in water and in the ocean. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use our fan brush, and we are going to use some blue paint. So take some blue paint, okay? And you know what? I think I'm going to add some green to my paint. Now whenever we put paint on our palettes, separate them. Don't put them all together, and don't mix them all together. We just want to, you know, be able to put our colors on randomly and things like that. You don't want to have just one color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put blue on first on my fan brush. See? And I'm just going to come underneath here and just go back and forth, horizontal strokes. And you did some of these strokes in the waterfalls painting. And what you're going to do now is you're going to add some, how about let's try a little bit of yellow, just for the sake of seeing what's going to happen. Oh, nice. Green. Lovely. That looks good. Okay, so we add yellow to our blue. And just go back and forth. And try to make sure that you see these little ripples in there and stuff, right? I'm going to stand up because I'm having a hard time reaching. So I'm going back into some blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth with blue and green and yellow. And it's okay to go up in your sky because I'm going to put a big old rock there or something for our lighthouse. So that's it. So put some yellow. So let's put some green in this time. Just green. See what happens. See? So you can either use the green or you can throw in some yellow. And that'll change the color up a little bit for you. Okay, isn't that cool? So we'll do the whole bottom of the canvas. No need to, you know, just go back and forth with your, and make sure your fan brush is this way, the skinny side, not this way, okay, not that way, this way. That way you'll get better control of your streaks. And you go back and forth like this, and add some yellow, because we also have some yellow from the glare of the sky also too, you know, we still have our yellow up there, and you can still do that. Some yellow, you can leave that there if you like it. And that'll be like a reflection from the sky. Go back in with blue, like I said, go back and forth, okay, back and forth with different colors, okay, back and forth, okay, and I really like that yellow there in the middle. So when you use the yellow, you can leave it yellow, but when you use the green, and the yellow will turn green, right, but it'll still leave some nice bright yellow streaks. But if you use just green, it only stays green. So that's the beauty of using yellow and blue. Isn't that nice? Keep it going. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, 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 blue. Okay, and I'm getting silly now. Just trying to entertain you. I don't want to get you too bored. So here we go. Let's do this side. I'm just going back and forth because I'm standing in an awkward position. I'm trying to not get too much in the way of the video. So I'm just going. So you can start from one side and continue on to the next side. You might need a lot of paint because see how you're getting these white pieces of canvas coming through? We don't want that. Not in this one anyway. So I'm adding more yellow. This time there we go. Look how pretty it is. So pretty. Now over here we're going to be doing a big old rock and a lighthouse, so don't worry about that too much over there. But, you know, for practice sake, you know, keep doing it over there. Yeah, this is nice. So now we're going to add some more yellow. There we go. So easy and so much fun too, you know, because you're not really worried about it too much because it's so simple. And you're just putting on that paint. You're just going back and forth with your strokes. And you're adding different colors. So, and you can't go wrong because if you don't like it, then all you got to do is just go back in with blue or, you know, the original color. The main color would be the blue. So if you fool up with the greens or the yellows, then you can just take it out with blue and then start over. Okay? So I hope, you know, if I can remember to show you and tell you that if you make mistakes, they say it's no mistakes in painting, but sometimes you just don't like what you see. And you say, well, how am I going to get rid of that? Either go back to your original color, your base color, your underpainting, whatever you're using, and then start over. Okay, so there we go. Those nice pretty colors. Very nice. I'm going to throw some green down here too. Yes, that's pretty. And see how I'm keeping the colors separated? See? I'm keeping them separated. I'm not going to have like just green, you know. So I'm getting lots of blue paint on there. I'm putting on a big blob of blue paint, okay? So say I get this corner here. And then what I do is I put the green in on top of it. There we go. See? Isn't that nice? And then I put some yellow in on top. So get your blue on first. I don't know if I explained that to you. So get your blue on first. That'd be the best thing to do. Get your blue on first and then put your greens on top of the blue. Okay, so I'm going to put my yellow here. Keep that in the center. I'm making this up as I go along, so bear with me and hopefully I can make this fun for you. Ready, or a big hill ready for our lighthouse. So what I did was I got a bit of chalk, pink chalk, and I'm just going to draw out the kind of hill, just map it out what I want to put my lighthouse on. So I'm just going to make some squiggly lines there with chalk. And then I'm going to take a flat brush so that I can fill that all in. So we just get the shape done first. That's the main thing you have to do. Get your shape, and then you just take black paint and fill that in. There we go. And this will be your hill for your lighthouse to sit on. There we go. So the chalk helps you get keep you in your place, so you don't get all messed up. So just get the black paint down there. There we go. And now you got your bases for your little hill, big old hill. And what we're going to do now is we're going to shape this up. So you can bring it out a little bit more here if you feel like you need it. You can have whatever shape you want. And we'll bring it out a little bit more here. So it looks like there's something going on there. That looks alright. There we go. There we go. That looks good. Nice. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your fan brush and you're going to put some black on one side and a bit of white on the other side. So you get a little bit of black and white, and just going to put some streaks in here with your fan brush just to get something started. There we go. Just push that on there like that, and just come straight down and over on the top of this rock. Just add some more white if you lose the color. Alright, there we go. And another one down here on this rock. And another one on this rock. So at least that will give you some idea of the shape that you're working on. And you can put some more here. So with your fan brush, you're just going up and down just to get some shape. And then you can come over on the top of this rock as if it's a big old rock. So just move your fan brush around until you get what you're looking for. There we go, see? Just up and down. And you got a nice, that brings it out more then, see? So we won't make it too hard. We'll just make it pretty simple like that. You can also put a little bit on the top. Start up here on the very top, pull across, and just pull some of it down a little bit. There we go. Just some little lines, just push, 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 push. Push with your fan brush. I find the fan brush will give you some nice streaks. You want to highlight that a little bit more down here. Just take your fan brush and pull that down. Alright, simple as pie. So all I want you to do now is get a flat brush. No, actually, we're going to take our fan brush again. And what we're going to do is going to lay a bit of grass on top of that big old hill there, just to get a bit of color. So you're just going to tip your fan brush into your green. Add a little bit of blue. Tone it down a small bit. Then just tap with your fan brush. Tap, 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 tap. And that'll give you some grass. You can come down over here. Maybe some grass in there, in those areas. Tap, 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 tap. You get some nice little grass. And your fan brush helps you get these nice shapes and makes it very easy for you. And there we go, just tapping around. Tapping and tapping. My fan brush is my friend. Okay, so you can bring it down a little bit here. And you got some grass on your cliff. You can also lighten it up a little bit with some yellow. Just give some highlight. Just keep tapping away. Top of what you already did. But don't lose all your green. Just tap into it a bit. Round and round and round we go. There we go. Lighthouse first before you paint it. So I'm just going to make mine a little bit big so you can see it, because this should be probably far away, but I'm just going to draw it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line to where I want to start my lighthouse, just a little line. And then I'm going to use a ruler to bring my lines down to get them nice and straight. So just take your ruler and go at the end of that line, and just, you don't come exactly straight down, but you come down on a little bit of a diagonal, okay? See? And there's your line up there. And then take your ruler and come down on another little bit of a diagonal, okay? There we go. Don't worry about the bottom. We can put rocks down there or anything at all. So first of all, I am going to show you how to shadow it. So I just have blue and white and black on my palette right now. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a very small flat brush. It's just a very small flat brush. You can use any small flat brush that you have on hand. Just something that's comfortable for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a bit of blue, and you're going to put that blue on the left side. Well, I'm going to pretend that the sun is coming in, or some kind of light is coming in from the right. So we're going to put, and now when you get to the line here, be as careful as you can. If you have any problems with that, then you can actually put green tape, your tape, on the side like that, if you want to, just to tape it off so that you can stay inside the line. So let's just try our best to stay inside the line. If you end up going outside the line, it can easily be fixed. We just go back to the sky color and then take it out. But get that on as best you can. Just take your time. There we go. So this is why you need a really small, skinny brush. Don't use a round one. Use a flat one. That way you get up against that line and you can use your brush on the chiseled edge and bring it down. Once you get that over here, then you're on your way. And also, when you get over here, you have to be careful too. So now you can just put that in there like that. There we go. Now, this doesn't have to be a perfect blend because it's just a shadow. So I just put some white paint on my brush, my dirty brush, and I'm just going to put some white on here. And I'm just going to put that right next to the blue, okay? And then I'm just going to go back up and down so that it blends with the blue, and it gives a kind of a shadowy color on that left side. Isn't that nice? Good. Clean your brush off a little bit so we can get more white. So, some white. Now we have to be careful on this side also. There we go. All the way down, all the way down. We need to get rid of that line too. We'll do that now in a minute. Let's just get some of this in here first. Blend that in with your blue. Some more white. Get up against that line. Gotta have a steady hand. If you don't, use the tape or something to steady your hand. Okay, so we're just getting right up against that line, okay? Take it out. So you can use pencil, draw it out, or you can use chalk. Chalk is good because you can always wipe it off with a damp, clean brush. Okay, so let's keep going here with this, and then we will certainly get that much done first. Okay, now we'll continue on with our lighthouse, and what we'll do is we'll extend this line here on top, extend that out a little ways with your pencil. Just extend those lines out, and then bring a little line up and out to the right, and a little line up and out to the left, and then draw it over to meet the line. And what we'll do with that is we'll take our little brush that we used, and a little flat brush. You need a small brush so you can control your hand, and we'll paint that black. Let's just paint that in so we can have that out of the way. So here we go. Just paint it in best way you can. Try to keep your hands steady. I'm sitting down, so I find for the video it's a little bit awkward, but I'll do my best for you. So just paint that in your black, and that'll be your top. Here we go. Alright, so I'll just leave that as it is there now. And what we'll do then, we'll take our pencil and we'll draw. This line continues up to here, so draw another line here and another line here, same width as your lighthouse. Okay? And then you just join those two lines together. Good. And now you draw another line up here and another line up here, and this is where your light is going to go in here, so it's another little box. And then you're going to put a little head on it. That's what I call a little head. So I'm just going to put a little dot right in the middle so I can draw like you're making the letter A. There we go, it's a little top. Now, what you're going to do is take your little brush again, little flat brush, and you're going to paint, put a little tiny bit of blue on this side because it's the extension of the lighthouse. And then you clean off your brush a bit, get some of the blue off, and dip into white. And then you put white on this side to meet with your blue to give it that shadow. There we go. Now, maybe our little top part can be red, just to give it some color. Okay, so just put a little bit of red on your palette, and then when you get your red on, just getting my red here, just take a little bit of red, tap that in there for a little top here, lighthouse. There we go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to extend this line up here out to the right and out to the left to meet up with this line up here, this top of this box, and just go over to meet up with those lines. And then make a couple of lines right here. All right. And what we'll do with that is we'll take our little liner brush, and then or your little flat brush, it doesn't matter as long as it's a brush that's really small. I'm going to use this little round liner brush. And I'm going to put black paint on it. And I'm going to paint those lines black. Now, you can make, when you take your time doing this, and then you'll get your lines a bit straighter than what I got here. So you just go over the lines which are black. There we go. There we go. Like, get straightened up here. All right. Now, in the center of that right here, we're going to put a touch of yellow and a touch of white. So if you're using the same brush, make sure you clean it off. There we go. I have a little light in the middle there. Good. You can also take your black paint and make those lines a bit darker. There we go. And then you can straighten these up. Now, when that dries, we'll put a couple more lines in there. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll put a couple little windows in here. So just take your little liner brush and just touch and touch, and maybe we'll have a little door in the bottom here. Just touch that and pull down. There we go. Little door. So what we'll do, clean your brush, put a little bit of white on your liner brush. Just put a little tap of white on the corner here. There we go. That'll make it look like the windows are set in. And because the paint was wet, it smeared a little bit on me there. But you can wait for it to dry, or you can have a steadier hand than me. I'm going to put a little bit of white on the edge of this one here too. And on the top. There we go. So, if you take your time doing that, you'll get, like I say, my hand is kind of shaking a bit because I'm sitting in an awkward position. But you can take your time, and at least this will give you an idea how to, and you can have any kind of lighthouse you want. So you can look up some pictures on the internet and pick out a lighthouse, and these techniques here will get you started. And we'll get that straightened away a little bit. There we go. So if you want to just keep working at it until you get it the way you want it, and you'll have a nice little lighthouse. And I'm going to take a little bit of white and wipe it off on my brush, wipe it off on my towel, and just throw a little bit of dry brushing under here just to give it like an old weathered look or something. Just bring it out a bit. Okay, so that's a little lighthouse, and you can probably put a little ball or something up here. It could be a flag, it could be whatever you want it to be. Good. Now what you can do is take your little flat brush again, and put some white paint on it, wipe it off. We'll dry brush. Dry brushing means you put paint on your brush and then you wipe it off so that there's not much on your brush, only just a little bit. If that's not enough, you just put a bit more on and check it out anywhere you want. And then you can take it and dry brush out some light coming from the lighthouse. So you just take it and pull out, pull out, pull out, pull out, and just scoop it out there, just so that it gives like there's a light coming out from the lighthouse. So if you haven't enough paint, just put a bit more paint on there and scoop it out. You can even have it coming out from the other side if you like. And maybe you might want some more. So keep doing it until you're happy. There we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit more here, brighten it up a bit. So if your dry brushing is not bright enough, just add a bit more white paint, that's all. I think this is coming along fine. Alright, and so we have a nice little, now if you want to, you can do a second coat of paint on your little house up, little hat up here. I call it a hat. Just to brighten it up a little bit. And if you want, you can even put a little bit of a dab of red on your door, just to give it some color. Just a little dab of red. I won't do too much there. So hopefully this helped. Fairly small flat brush like this, and you can put black on it and put a few more rocks. I thought it'd be nice to put a few rocks down here, a few extra ones. So just make a line and then a hump, and then just fill it in, and you got a rock. And we can always extend it out to the back there to give it some more shape. We'll give it more shape when we add some highlights to it. We'll probably put another rock in front of that one. There we go. Another rock. The ocean's full of rocks and water and waves and all kinds of stuff. So let's see what we can do with this. Alright, so then you can put another rock wherever you want them. It's up to you. I'll let you decide where you like to have your rocks. Alright, maybe just another one out here in the back, just to give it some shape. Maybe there's a little tiny one around here somewhere. So all you got to do is put a line underneath and then make a little hump, and then we'll straighten that out after. Okay, so maybe we'll have another one down here in the corner. Just a couple of little rocks to say that this is getting close to the shore. And there's some rocks down there, so because we know the water's pretty deep out in the back there. When you get here, it might be just a little bit closer to the shore, so there's going to be more rocks. Okay, so there's your rocks. Pretty simple. Okay, so you could probably have another little one out here. And just push it back a little bit. So just play with your rocks till you get the shape you're looking for. That's just a basic start to it. Then you just do your little line and then you fill them in with black. Here we go. If they're not black enough, just put some more in there. And then we will have those rocks there. Good. Now what we'll do is we can highlight those rocks. So just put a little bit of weight on your brush. little bit of white, and probably wipe off your brush so you don't have too much on there. And just start at the top and move your brush all on the top, okay? Just on the top, and then move it around. And then we'll just get some shapes. And what you can also do is you can dry brush, put a little bit of blue into your white, a little bit of blue, so it won't be too white. And just take it as too much. So you can always go back and fix it if you don't like it. Okay, and as you can see, I don't like that. So I'm going to wipe off my brush and dry brush a little bit here on top of this one. So I cleaned off my brush, and now I'm just scrubbing in whatever's left over on my brush. I'll take some of that there. Scrub that in because I had too much. So we'll just scrub it in, move it around. And this is just to get them started. This is not the total highlight on them. I'm just trying to get some shape to your rocks. And then you just start from the top, wipe your paint off, and just move it around. Move it around. You start from the top and move it around, and that way you'll be able to have a good start to your rocks. There we go. Okay. Like I said, this is not the total highlight. This is just trying to get them shaped up a little bit. So we'll just highlight them for now with the white and a little bit of blue. We'll just move that around. Now, if you lose your black, just go back in with some black and put that back in there. Okay. Alright, so shape them up a little bit and have a little bit of white on top, white and blue. Just start at the top, and it's round, and then move your brush around. Start at the top, and move your brush around. We'll get some shapes going on here now. And we'll try this one over here. Just take the top, move it around. There we go. Good. So all we did right there is just figure out what way we want our rocks. If you get too much paint on, just wipe it off in your tissue. Just put a little bit on top and move your brush around. That's all. You want a little bit more on the back of this one here. A little bit on, wipe your brush off, move it around. Good. Now you can find more rocks in there by, there's one right here. Just move it around. Perfect. Let's see if we can find some more. How about one right here? Ooh, good. There we go, another rock. I think I see one right here. And here. Okay, so what we can do now is we can add a little bit of, let's go with a little bit of brown and a little bit of red. A little bit of brown, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, just to get any colors you want. And go on the back of that and pull down like that. Pull down, pull down. Just pull back from the top down to the right. We'll even add more to that. Now we'll add a little bit, have a little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow might do nice. There we go. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Just so that we can see. There might be a bit of sun or something. We don't get a lot of sun in Newfoundland, but we do okay. Alright, there we go. So we just put a little bit of highlight on those rocks. I don't want too bad, too much. So then you can take your brush and clean it off and then move it around a little bit. Alright, there we go. Good. Now, all I want to do now to show you is to get your fan brush. And get your fan brush and add some white to your fan brush with a little bit of blue. I always like to add a little bit. I like to tone it down a little bit because too much white just stands out too much and doesn't look natural. I use that for highlights. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your brush and go underneath these rocks to make a few little waves coming out from the rocks. There we go, like that. Just like that. Take your fan brush and gently roll some of this water out. Same with under here. There we go. And under here, under every rock. And pull out in front of the rock. I'm just doing it gently. That's why you're getting these little ripples, which is kind of nice. And underneath here. There we go, just some little ripples going underneath the rocks. There we go. Just take your fan brush and underneath the rocks, underneath the rocks. Good. Yep, and then you can just add a few little ripples here and there. And if your hand shakes, that's a good thing because now you're getting these little ripples on the go. So we think that the water may be moving up towards that rock. So I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to touch and pull back, touch and pull back, touch and pull back, touch and pull back, touch and pull back. And that'll get your little waves started. That's going to hit your rock. Touch and pull back. There we go. Dotted there. They had a little bit of a sunshine or something there just for a bit of fun. So I'm going to call that finished. And I hope you liked it. And I hope it helped. And I'll be doing another video soon. So keep your eyes peeled. Give you a little bit of a closer view to these. Okay. And you can play with your water a bit more if you want. I could spend hours at the water, but I'm just going to leave it as it is for now, okay? I have another painting over here that I did. A lighthouse. And this one here that I was showing you earlier, that I just added a few extras to it. And so that's it. Just moving my camera around so you can see some of the paintings. So I was just playing with that one there to see if I get some ideas for the one I'm teaching you. Okay, so there we go. Allison Pryor signing off, and I will see you again in the next video. Happy painting!